Unexpected Journey, Memoir of a Siberian Deportee by Juzė Avižienytė-Žukauskiene. Translated from Lithuanian and narrated by Giedrė Kumpikas, niece of the author, and by Isabelle Kumpikas, the sister of the author. Chapter 38. One misfortune is not a misfortune. Spring came. Food reserves were dwindling. It was still a long wait for nettles and garlic. The work at the mill would end soon, since all the wool had been processed and felt boots were not needed in the spring. Soon we would no longer have the 500 grams which my husband and son were getting. Stasiukas fell seriously ill with a kidney infection. Once again, our good doctor, Šakenienė, visited him every day, brought me medication, which she had brought from Lithuania, and prescribed a diet. God, and what to give such a weak patient, a child, not a drop of milk, not an egg, not a crumb of bread. I was boiling small pieces of potatoes in plain water. That was all, not even any salt, since it had been forbidden by the doctor. I ran here, I ran there, but where to get something when no one has anything to spare? My husband decided that summer was coming and our bedding was not essential. And so, having asked for and gotten the permission of the commandant, bundling up the down comforter and pillow, he marched off to Svietlo-Zelonoye, to the speculator who came from Tomsk and would buy things. He came back without his coat, but brought back a kilogram of butter, a sizable bag of flour, about 8 to 10 kilograms, and some honey. I will have something to give my young patient, and the little one will get something. And where is your coat? I asked, surprised. Don't be angry, my dear. I was able to get these provisions from the storekeeper for my coat alone, since he had no need of bedding, and the man from Tomsk was not there. His colleague does not buy without him. You know very well that we must save Stasiukas, otherwise he will suffer the same fate as Smailėnės Jonukas. And what did you get for the bedding? For the moment, nothing. I left it with that man. If his nephew will make it in time by the sled road, then we'll get our money quickly. If not, then we'll have to wait until he sails up the river by steamboat. Well, it's good that at least while Stasiukas is sick, we'll have some better food for him. And again, the tax agents. They were a real scourge of God. Again, the demand to give last year's tribute, meat, potatoes, hides, wool. I noticed that they did not demand these payments from everyone. Apparently, they wanted to finish us off. Such was, it seems, the determination of the commandant. Of course, they loaded those payments on us because I had not been submissive and had been sharply argumentative with all the agents. Even though all the demands were sent in my husband's name, he was the head of the family, I represented the family. We did not know the statutes of the law. No one explained them to us, but rather even hid them. The Soviet army was fiercely defending Stalingrad and did not allow the Germans to come close to the Baku oil fields. They were holding on also on other fronts. The army needed a lot, and Russia was a beggarly poorhouse. Besides, the most fertile regions were occupied. Very energetic, ferocious men were chosen as agents, tax collectors. They were also driven mercilessly, demanding that the set norm be collected, and they, for their part, tried to squeeze out whatever they could from the people. I did not forget Stasiukas' heartache, his bitter tears when he lost his watch, and we robbed him of it by deceit, by theft. When will those dragons be sated? All the inhabitants were hungry, half naked, and unquenchable demands did not end. I worked at the office. I used to see and I used to hear how they shouted at others, not only at me. Even though everything, tributes, taxes, came in my husband's name, he was of poor health, and I was afraid of a heart attack, as had happened on the train. I was strong, cool-tempered. Besides, I worked at the office. They did not have to ask me to come, nor look for me. Therefore, the whole heap of demands, insults, and curses landed on me. I repaid them in kind, although I did not shout, I did not threaten, I did not insult. I retorted coolly, sternly, bitingly, with mockery, but I avoided crossing the line. The commandant and the activists who were being pressed from above had a grudge against me and were just waiting for an opportunity to crush me. In March of 1943, again the coercion to give potatoes, meat, hides, and other things. The same agent came to whom I had paid 90 rubles. Well, Zukauskiene, it's time to settle with your payments. Besides, the region has obligated us to build one tank, one plane. Look for money. Why this empty talk? You know that we have no meat, no hides, no wool, and that we will have none. Money and things we have consumed long ago. We gave to the government what we had and what we could. You know that we don't earn a single ruble here. Don't talk so much. You know you have to pay, so pay up. We gave what we could. Is the Soviet Union such a beggarly poorhouse that they want to rip something off naked people? The commandant jumped up. For such talk, you'll wind up in jail. Then you'll know. Don't try to scare me. For some, it's a jail. For others, it's a living room, I replied with a Russian saying. What is jail to me? There, at least, I'll get a ration of bread, while here, we work day and night, and we live on wind, and still there are payments to be made. You leave your children, then you'll howl. No, I won't howl. You think that to see how your children are starving to death is easy? It's better that my eyes wouldn't see it. Not one of them died yet, said the commandant slowly. I got fired up and interrupted him. You are the commandant, but you don't know what's going on in your own administration. You're in the clouds. Why did Savitskas die last year? Why did those 2 old people in Vostok die in 1941? They begged from beggars like themselves. And was it easy for Smailiene when her Yonukas died of hunger? Do you know, you should know, that he, emaciated and completely drained, was still agonizing for a few weeks, not getting up from his plank bed, and his mother was only feeding him with grass? Do you know that his last wish was a speck of good food? While hallucinating, he saw bread. Do you know that his last words were, Mother, can't I get one more potato and a half glass of milk? Was it easy for his mother to wrap his dried-out body into his last rags and to bury him? It is better not to see that. You are threatening me with prison? Put me there, drive me there, send me there. I choked on my tears. I was shaking from emotion and anger. Get out. We'll take care of the likes of you. The commandant's words sobered me up.